Arkansas Vanderbilt, you've seen both of them in person, this matchup, and who does it favor?
I think it favors Arkansas. Vanderbilt is a good defensive team, but they have some holes. They love to stop the run. If you can get it in the air against them, which Kentucky wasn't able to do, mainly because of the conditions, you have a chance to win that game.
You get Ty Story back. What did you see from him against Auburn, and then more specifically Ole Miss, that you think he's the guy Arkansas should stick with the rest of the year?
Ty Story might be the toughest quarterback in the SEC, if not the country. I mean, he takes more hits than anybody. Both games I've had, whether it was Auburn, where his jersey was just a total grass stain, or the game in Little Rock, where he ended up taking more hits than the one that knocked him out of the game, he's the kind of guy that teammates rally around. They know he's going to put his body on the line, which is not always the smartest thing to do, but that resonates in the locker room.
What areas have you seen Arkansas progress maybe the most since scouting them before covering them at the Auburn game to this point of the season?
I think the biggest advantage for Arkansas at this point, the biggest improvement I've seen, is not all on the field. It's the attitude. You know, they've had plenty of opportunities where they could have laid down or rolled over. They didn't do that against Alabama. They didn't do that in the couple early drives against Tulsa, where Tulsa got great field position on them. They battled, and they're a team that still works really well together. And at this stage in the season, when your record is what Arkansas is, there's a lot of teams that are not as well coached that would have already punted on the season. So that's, to me, that's the biggest issue.
You just got through covering Vandy, the scouting report on Vandy.
Vandy's scouting report depends on their health. If their running game is as strong as it possibly could be. But there are a two-receiver team, really. Kalijah Lipscomb and Pinckney, their tight end, are the two main targets. Those guys are wildly productive, but there's not a whole lot of depth there. So you can focus on shutting those guys down. You can shut down their offense.
You were very vocal about the Little Rock game after the game. There was a columnist that wrote something about it the other day. I mean, it looks like it could go either way. But just your thoughts on that now a couple weeks removed.
Well, first of all, I'm an outsider. I don't live in this state. I'm not from this state. I don't have a dog in the fight. But in my opinion, there's a reason why all the other SEC teams that played neutral site games within their own state have gone away from it. And you can point to the money, and there's an argument there to be made for sure, but to me it's about recruiting. And if you're going to play a game in Jerry World every year and you're going to play a game in Little Rock every other year, the math just doesn't work out. That leaves you with 2 conference home games every other year. And where recruiting is the lifeblood of any program, you're putting your coaching staff at a disadvantage by having limited opportunities to get guys on campus to try to get them to sign with Arkansas.